Hey everybody, how's it going? We're live on Periscope. I'm Joe Moran and we are very, very much hot on the lighting.
Yes,
All
we
right,
are.
how about it?
Come
We
on,
are
camera.
Very light. Woo,
Hey,
right.
Max joined pretty
Max
quickly.
Tim is in the house. Guys, we
What's
are...
up? I'm a ghost.
This is Scott Marcus right here. I am Joe Moran, and we are here to talk the winter meetings, hot stove report for Major League Baseball. They're going on right now, and this is what we're doing right now. And Max, you do have a life. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Okay, so what we're gonna talk about first are the free agents that have signed so far. There's been quite a few, and it's been some surprises, and a lot of money is being exchanged
Yes.
here. So let's talk about that. The first one I want to go over is David Price. He was the first one out of the gate. He signed a 7-year deal with Boston that is worth $210 million or $208 in that area. Either way, whether it's 208 or 210, the guy's making bank, and it's ridiculous. Boston is they have I'm not sure which party has the opt-out in 2018.
I think no, it's a player option to get out and try his hand again on the free agent market.
So he can walk away after in 2 seasons.
And Boston's
or 3
already
seasons.
made some corresponding moves to kind of take down some of their rotation, which I don't think is a good idea yet. They had a bad year last year, so a little extra rotation depth would not be a bad idea.
Well, that to spread that money a little thinner is what I would probably do.
Yeah.
I think what Price is he's over 30. That's a lot of money to commit to a guy. I know you got the opt out, but he has the opt out. He could actually decide to stay, and that could really backfire on Boston. And then they could find themselves in a position they were when they had the fire sale with the Dodgers. And they sent Gonzalez and
It's funny.
and
I mean,
company back to Los Angeles.
There's new front office staff right now for Boston, and I don't know. Maybe it's knee jerk for me to jump to this, but it seems like they're not learning from the mistakes of their past.
No,
The same people in charge of the Cubs right now, actually.
They're so like almost incestuous, the Cubs and the Red Sox, and I think Red Sox fans are almost like, get off our back, like you're not one of us. But moving on, let's talk about Zach Greinke.
Talk about a surprise.
Well,
we kind of saw a chance. We thought Price was going to go to the Cubs. I think that was what most people were guessing.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship with Joe Madden from their days in Tampa.
Yep.
But I don't think anybody on the planet saw Greinke going to Arizona.
No. In fact, I think what's so surprising about not only that he went to Arizona, but they completed this deal, I think, within 8 hours. Like, it was a complete signed deal. They made the offer Friday morning, and by the end of the business day, that deal was in the can. He was a Diamondback.
Yeah.
And it was as if, like, they kind of flew in under the radar. I think the Giants and the Dodgers were the competing factors here. And then at the end of the day, it just went straight up to, wow, we are so overlit. Holy moly. It is awesome. I love it. But, like, that's basically what happened, is that he ended up they snuck in under the wire, under the radar, and stole him from division rivals, which is like, that sends a message. We are here to compete. We're here to play.
Yeah, it's interesting because
done.
San Fran, another division rival of the Dodgers, was in on that very strong. And Dodgers have to be a little concerned, honestly. They had two of the best pitchers in all of baseball last year with Kershaw and Greinke. And to not only lose him, but to lose him to a division rival.
Yeah, and then have to go out and find someone to replace him. And let's face it, the Dodgers are big spenders in this game, and they've already missed out on the opportunity to go out and bid on people like Price, Lackey. Those guys are off the Samardzija. Those guys are all off the market. We're gonna get to these guys in just a second, but like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, who do they go to now? It's as almost if it was like kind of a little upper lip, like stiff.
I actually like their move that they picked up Hisashi Urakama on a 3-year, $45 million deal.
Yeah, that's how they responded.
And honestly, I would take that over Greinke's $206.5 million. He needed that extra half.
Right,
206 was not going to cut it.
That was the benchmark. You're like, nope, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
I
that.
have standards.
But kudos to Tony La Russa and his team in Arizona that they just nailed this. They brought in a big fish, man, and their fan base must be just ecstatic.
They obviously need a bit more work than that. This is one of the, first off, they have a new TV contract that comes into play this coming year, which is how they were able to afford a lot of that. They get $80 million a year from television contracts now. That said, Arizona is still not a huge, large market team. So this is a potentially very dangerous contract for him. 6 years he got there, so I think he's going to be very solid for the next couple. But 6 years, who knows how much of an albatross that becomes. Just look at the Angels and Albert Pujols.
He's been playing for about almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So you're right. This very well could be an Albert Pujols situation for the guys in Arizona. Another guy a lot of people were surprised at that got a lot of money after his 2015 season was Jeff Samardzija from the White Sox.
Yeah.
He went free agency and signed a $90 million 5-year deal with the San Francisco Giants. Let's look at it from this point of view. He did not have a strong defense in Chicago. The White Sox did not really support him. Every time he took the mound, he didn't get run support. So some of this is, it does balance out a little bit.
Let me pull up some of those other excellent stats like Sierra and XFIP, which tries to calculate ballpark factors, defense factors,
That's
and
another thing is like he was pitching in a ballpark that just gives up home runs.
He is. I was going to say that it's great. He's going up to the Bay Area, much heavier, colder air, bigger ballpark than U.S. Comiscular. That said, he had a crappy season.
He did. But he also is an innings eater. 200 innings, 3 straight seasons in a row.
Yeah, 216 last year.
So that's pretty good. And at the end of the day, maybe he's lost a little bit of his velocity, but he's durable and durable, and that's good.
That's his nickname, Durable.
Durable. Who knows? Anyways, and you're gonna get when you have better defense, which he's gonna have in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's gonna he's gonna get better defense. It's means he's gonna have better quality starts. Better quality starts put him in a position to have better more increases wins.
It was interesting when he turned down his qualifying offer that the White Sox extended to him. What is 15.3? I think is the number for this year.
Yes.
It seemed like he could have been a candidate to take that. Say, I'll rebuild some value on a 1-year deal. And it also seemed like a bad move to turn that down, not only because he was coming off a terrible year, but also because he was entering a free agent market that's full of such great pitchers.
Yeah.
However, it seems that the craziness of the Arizona signing of Greinke and also the Boston signing of Price led to people being frantic, needing to sign people. Other teams were in on Price and Greinke, and now they had to scoop up whoever was left.
That's the hot stove.
And they
I love
jumped
that.
on.
Yeah, because that's the whole beauty of. I love that. Oh, the winter meetings are so cool about that because it forces your hand to thinking that you need to act sooner than you don't.
Yeah.
And it goes back to like a trading deadline. It's not the move you make; it's the move you don't make. Now that was pretty much so far all I got on free agent pitchers and the big signings, but. Let's talk about...
Well, we do have John Lackey coming from the
Cubs.
That's
right. I forgot. That tells you what I feel about the Cubs. I'm just overlooking them. John Lackey did sign a $32 million deal. Contract's length is 2 years. So this was a good move on the Cubs, who are basically... They got a lot of payroll money that they got arbitration coming up. They're not going to be big spenders this offseason, and they just can't. And they're going to have a big bar the bar's been risen in Chicago for the Cubs.
Yeah, and they obviously need some rotation depth.
Definitely, and I think they need another pitcher besides Lackey to really solidify the rotation, because at the end of the day, as great of a year as the Cy Young Award Jake Arrieta had, we talk about innings eaters. He is an innings eater. He also ate up 249 innings in 2015. That is a lot of innings to put on a pitcher, and then to come back 4 months later and start up again.
Those are Arrieta's numbers or Lackey?
No, those were for Arrieta. So
okay.
That to me, those are really big numbers. And
absolutely.
And by June, his arm could be completely dead.
Yeah.
Which is why they need another guy besides Lackey.
They need, absolutely, somebody else that can shoulder the load.
It's like insurance for your ace pitcher.
And even if somehow, and it would be miraculous if he didn't have any fatigue going through next season. However, even if he didn't, he's not going to replicate those numbers.
Nope.
Though he was off everybody's charts.
It would be great if he did, because it would be amazing for baseball, because it would be a true sign. It's been a pitcher's era for quite a while, for the last several years. But if you were to duplicate those kinds of numbers, that's like going out there and like being like Tiger Woods 2 years in a row,
Sure, yeah.
and just kicking ass, which hasn't happened in a long time. But
Yeah.
still, it's an amazing thing, and they're in a good position.
I do think it's a bit of an overpay still. 32 mil, 2 years.
Mhm.
On top of that, John Lackey turned down a qualifying offer, meaning the Cubs are not only paying that dollar amount to Lackey, but they're forfeiting their first round pick this year. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of value associated with losing that. The Cubs had a great
Good
year,
point.
so they don't
Good
have a
point.
very high draft pick. I think they're 26th or 8th, somewhere around there. But still,
Yeah.
but they are also getting to the point in their kind of cycle where the future is now. They don't really need to build for down the road. Now is when they really need to succeed.
Exactly.
Still, it's a balancing act. Do you give up a first round pick for John Lackey? I don't think I would have.
I don't think I would.
Not at that dollar amount.
No, some of these guys who they might have re-signed or they are going to have to resign, they aren't the kind of pitchers or players, I should say,
Difference makers.
where they're difference makers. Where like the idea of you paying up,
Yeah.
where they can walk away with a $3 or $4 million raise. It's like, wait a second here.
Yeah.
No offense, but like this is not. I don't think the value is kind of getting a little out of hand here, and it's
Sure.
all because they had this really kick-ass year.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget, Cubs are a team that, yes, their payroll is going to be going up in the next couple of years with younger guys getting better. However, it's still relatively low in the grand scheme of baseball, and they're a team that brings in a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they can afford it. They are far from the luxury tax still. They could put a lot of money into free agency and still be safely in there. You don't want to you don't want to go too one-sided, of course. The Cubs have a great foundation to build on, and you shouldn't mess around with that. But there is room to take on some payroll.
That's true. Yeah, no, I understand that. I just
Yeah.
think that with everyone that's also going to arbitration, and the players that they have to choose from right now, especially from the pitchers, it's
Yeah.
getting thin,
It is.
and that's where I think people are going to be let down.
Yeah.
Like Cub fans are expecting a lot to happen next season, and
And I
we're going
think
to find out.
I think we saw how ready they really were when they finally came against the Mets in the playoffs. They won the one game, very well played against a fatigued and injury depleted Pirates team, and then they played and beat a completely injury decimated Cardinals team. And then they faced the Mets, and it wasn't a contest, unfortunately, for Chicago.
I think the Cubs were running on momentum
Yeah.
at that point. They were just out of gas.
Yeah.
and that's
And the team that really crushed them themselves got it handed to them by Kansas City. So it kind of shows you how much growth there is left to do.
well, they were so hot too. It's like
Yeah.
what's his name? The second baseman for the Mets. I want to say Murray, but
Murphy, Daniel Murphy.
Daniel Murphy. The guy he had like
on
4
fire.
or 5 or 6 home runs in a row straight, and then where was he in the World Series?
Yeah. It's going to be
You
very
want
interesting
to
to see what happens with him. Murphy is a free agent himself.
Exactly.
This could be an interesting week in his world.
Moving along, we have other stuff on here. So there is some position players we can move on to that did sign. The White Sox have been pretty active in the catcher department. They've created quite the battle royale for the starting position at catcher for 2016. They say goodbye to Tyler Flowers, and who had a really not the best offensive season, but let's just say he's
That's an understatement.
Yeah, but let's just say he knows how to catch and play defensively, and that's what I think a catcher is for. Is you keep him around because he knows how to frame a pitch, he knows how to work with the pitching staff, and the pitching staff is comfortable with them. And
I think he is a big reason why the Sox have one of the best rotations.
Yes, but yeah, exactly. And you have people like Chris Sale, who's been his personal catcher. His entire career has been
Flowers. Yeah,
Tyler Flowers. So it's a big change for that pitching staff to go through.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the job is basically who's playing the best.
Yeah, and there's no consistency because the backup was Giovanni Soto, who himself has already signed with another team.
Yep, gone.
So fresh, new. Every pitcher is going to throw to a catcher that they did not throw to last year.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for them to establish a rapport and a consistent one.
Yeah,
because now it's no longer about how does the pitcher necessarily feel. Well, I'm sure it gets taken into account, but at the end of the day, they're going to say, we understand, but Navarro he's a 325 hitter. When he's in the lineup against that starting pitcher, whoever it could be, as opposed to the other guy. We haven't even told you guys their names yet. The guys are Alex Avila, signed with the White Sox from
Former
Detroit.
Tiger, yeah.
Former Tiger. And the first thing he said at the press conference, he's ready to kick Detroit's ass. I like him already, but you know what? Samardzija came here and did the same thing. We all know how that ended. So, talk is cheap. Dioner Navarro also signed with the White Sox. He is from Toronto. Both players are pretty much, when you look at their production, I think offensively are the same.
They're going to be a good platoon, left, right. Basically, whoever.
And Navarro, I think, is the switch hitter out of the two. Navarro, he hits from both sides of the plate. Okay. So that's good value too. You know.
Yeah, no, there's some flexibility there. Hopefully they can make up in offense what we will lack with pitch framing, because the number of pitches that were outside the zone that Tyler got called strikes anyway changes in at bat.
Yeah.
And the White Sox will miss that a bit, but hopefully their offense. The Sox got nothing out of Tyler Flowers offensively the last several years. He was right around the Mendoza line.
Yeah,
just about his whole career with the White Sox.
Yeah, it's the thing, but like when you watch highlights of him and how he can frame that pitch and how many walks he might have saved.
Yeah, and strikeouts he made happen.
Yeah, exactly.
On a year that Sale broke a 100 and some odd year old White Sox franchise record for most strikeouts in a season. How many of those were really Tyler's strikeouts?
Yeah, no kidding. Like the catcher should get credit for the strikeout too. Like that's especially when they just kind of gracefully put it right back.
Hey, it was here the whole time.
Yeah,
what do you want?
Talking about, All right, so what is Tyler Flowers going to do though? Where does he go? And there's reports out there that Atlanta.
Yeah,
is showing
Atlanta would be interesting because they would have a catching tandem of AJ Pierzynski and Tyler Flowers,
which would be like brothers are back together.
Yeah,
and like a couple Dukes of Hazzards, and then let's see, the Yankees have shown interest to use him as a backup for Brian McCann. It is Brian, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, we got nobody's listening, nobody's watching. It doesn't really matter.
That's why we have pilot episodes.
This is it. We're getting rid of at least two of these lights and maybe bouncing it off the wall next time. Reds closer. There's a potential trade to the Los Angeles Dodgers that is on the line. Yeah. It hasn't been approved or gone through yet because there's a potential domestic violence investigation with the police in Florida, and it goes a little bit something like. I had the story up a second ago, but apparently this guy, here he is, the closer, Aroldis Chapman, fired a gun at home, maybe in the direction of someone, or maybe not. I don't know.
I actually hadn't heard. I heard that there was a domestic violence case. I had not heard any details yet.
That was the last thing I heard.
I didn't know firearms were involved.
ESPN had something up there. Let's see if I can pull it up now. Let's see.
Even if there's not a police investigation, MLB has been very proactive, learning from the NFL to take charge and deal with things. Even if there's not a police investigation, there will be an independent Major League Baseball investigation into
They're already into that. They're doing that already. And I guess his girlfriend accuses him of pushing and choking her, per an article on ESPN's website. So that's holding things up. And right now, like you said, the NFL is coming under fire for not being proactive enough with domestic abuse, and baseball has always been a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of like, we're not tolerating this. We're gonna address it head on and take care of it. And no player is bigger than baseball, and baseball has no problem reminding people of that. So that trade is on hold as of right now. Who knows if it's going to happen or if there's going to be any kind of discipline. Who knows? I'm sure there will be, though.
It's really strange. I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's trying to follow the Royals example from the last two seasons. Dodgers already have a great closer, Kenley Jansen. Is he going to remain as now a setup man, and how will he handle being kind of demoted?
Exactly.
Or is that a trade chip? Oh, no.
And that's probably where, like, Pierzynski was, like, with the White Sox.
Yeah.
I think Pierzynski could have stayed with the White Sox and would have done just fine.
Yeah, he clearly could have. I mean, the fact that he's still playing today. Yeah.
And for such a guy who's loved by everyone in the city, like,
oh, yeah.
we would have found room for that guy. And that's a hitter's
ballpark. His name is Pierzynski in Chicago. Of course he's going to be...
On Archer Avenue, there's a shoe shop called Pierzynski's Shoes. Same spelling, but, like, it's not and I'm sure there's no relation, but
No, it'd be Przinski's cleats.
yeah, exactly. So let's talk about Miami. They got a pitcher, 23-year-old kid. His name is Jose Fernandez. The guy's a beast. He's just amazing. Is he available or isn't he?
I'm going to say no.
I don't know. The phones are keep ringing off the hook because he's just that kind of a player that, it's that time of the year and they're all come up with ideas in the back room and they're all like, hey, let's just throw this up at the wall and see if it sticks. And Miami's obviously getting calls.
Yeah.
They're apparently listening because they know what's being
answering
offered.
the phone. Yeah.
And they're answering the phone, so I'm saying that they might be talking to some people.
It wouldn't be surprising. Miami has had a terrible history of having great players that they get rid of because they can't support it financially. That said, they gave over $300 million to Giancarlo Stanton last offseason.
Yeah.
Wow. And as insane as that is, he might be the one player that's actually worth that because they signed him so young. It's a 10-year deal.
And he's awesome. He's fun to watch, man. That guy is
oh my gosh, he's pure power.
There is a team apparently pursuing, per ESPN, a mystery team is pursuing this guy. I've heard that the Yankees and the, who was it? The Yankees and Dodgers were the ones looking at him. And if the Dodgers were to get him, that would be a double whammy. They'd be throwing right back at the good guys over there in Arizona.
Yeah.
After losing Greinke like that.
Which and maybe it is because, they not only lost out on Greinke, but also their backup was Samardzija. So they lost out on 1-2. Again, I really like their signing of Iwakama, formerly with Seattle. He's 37, but he is a pitcher. He's a Maddox-like pitcher. He's not a power guy, so he's aging well. NL East or NL West is still a league full of big stadiums, so you don't really have to worry about home runs flying out of Cincinnati, for example.
Right.
So I really like the Dodgers signing, but still, he's obviously going to be a step down from what they got out of Greinke last year, and they need a depth anyway, so they do need a second.
Well, here, ESPN's looking at this article, just going back to Fernandez.
Yeah.
There's 4 teams apparently, or maybe 5 teams that are apparently in talks, or could be, or would have reason to be in talks.
Okay.
With them. I'm just scanning this article real quick. But the Houston Astros, coming off an awesome season, this is a team, talk about a comeback team.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They like just finding inspiration within themselves, I guess, is how they've done it. But the Cardinals, they got to replace Lackey.
Yeah.
So that makes them a pretty good. David Price is gone, so like everyone's starting to thin out, and who knows? The Nationals.
Yeah, that's
not a bad idea. Zimmerman. They got Zimmerman. They got a new manager in Dusty Baker. Who knows? This could be a good fit. The Cubs. No, I don't know what the Cubs would have to give up to get him, man. But like, I guarantee it wouldn't be a lot.
Yes,
and it would put a step or two back in their plan to move forward. I wouldn't do it if I'm the Cubs. This guy could get hurt. It's too risky. They're on a good path. They don't need this. They don't need to take that.
No, I agree. They've got a lot of excellent young players that you want to hold on to and have them be part of your future. I don't know if there are, Double-A highly touted prospects that they're not going to have room for because positions are taken. So there's a possibility there. I don't know about that though.
But I think also they made the list just because these are the Cubs.
Yeah.
And let's just throw another name in there just to throw the scent off, maybe. Who knows? But the Twins. How did the Twins make this list?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I know they have a deep farm system.
Yeah, they're actually shopping some starters now. I think, Ricky Nolasco, they're trying to get rid of.
But I think that puts trading this guy, Fernandez, from Miami to the Twins is the same situation. No one's bettering themselves in this deal, in my opinion. I'll tell you why. God bless you. The reason I say that is that right now, the way that I say it, the Marlins they're going to lose control of this guy's career. He'll become a free agent before they're good again.
Yeah.
So can you win with this guy right now?
Yeah.
The answer is probably going to be a resounding no in the meetings in Miami.
Yeah.
We can't win with them right now. And
Fun fact, Miami's highest paid player is still $11 million, not cheap, but it's Martin Prado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Stanton's big money doesn't come in until next year when he starts making 14.5.
I was going to say, he's got to be like That's insane. Oh my God.
Oh, they're actually working out a deal right now with Dee Gordon as well, who was amazing this past year. I think he led the league in batting average.
You're going back to like why the Marlins. It was a bad trade to go to the Twins and the Marlins to trade with each other because neither one of them are in a position to win right now.
Yeah.
They'll lose control of him, and they'll go free agency
Sure.
before you know it, and then they'll be out all these prospects or this potential. So for the Twins, the Marlins to trade him, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
For the Twins to trade for him, bad.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
they're about to turn the corner.
So that leaves the three here.
Stros, Angels, Nats.
Nats. So I'm just saying the Nationals, get them out of there. They're not really in competition for them.
No?
That's just a gut
Yeah,
feeling.
I can see that.
These two teams, the Astros and the Cardinals, I think they're the ones that are going to go for it.
It'll be tough. They, just for the record, the
It's funny how
Marlins
the
do
Astros
have-
and the Cardinals are at the top of that list, and they were, hacking each
Yeah.
other's, mainframes or whatever it was.
Miami does have control of Fernandez for 3 more years, because this will be his first arbitration year. So this will also, again, it shows Miami. They've been able to have this guy at league minimum for the last 3 years, and as soon as there's a chance, they'll have to actually pay him somewhat respectable money. He's only going to arbit for the first time now. I don't know what he's projected, but probably just $3 to $5 million. Now, for the first time through, that's not a lot.
No, but wow. It's a nice jump.
No, it definitely is.
Let's see here. So that's with this guy. No one really knows what's going on. Miami says, "Oh no, he's not available." But yeah, when that tells me at the winter meetings when they say this guy is not available, that's like saying, "Oh, we are talking about moving him."
And every other GM knows
Yeah.
that Miami has a price.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's untouchable.
Especially Miami. Miami
Especially
is always
Miami.
giving away players.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my recap or our recap. We've got our notes have been covered.
Yes.
So we can close this up and wrap it up and move on to the next episode. Or
I believe so. And expected today, Ben Zorbst will probably choose his
That's
home.
right.
Speaking of more position players again.
well, I think they're saying New York. Someone else put an offer in there, but they're saying it wasn't the offer did not come from the Mets, but the Mets are still the favorite as well.
Yeah, I think Mets are. This guy went from being one of the most underrated to one of the most overvalued people out there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I like him quite a lot. He's got a lot of positional flexibility. Although he's talking about how he would prefer to have one position now, which takes away a lot of his value.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Mets, Giants, and Nats are apparently all willing to go 4 years on him, which he's
For
in
his
his upper
age,
30s
he's
as
gonna
well.
be 40. They're saying I think their offer I heard he had a 4-year deal on the table for $80 million.
$80 million. Again,
$20 million a year, dude, for a guy who's going to be 40 by the time that contract is up.
he's very good. I don't want to make it sound like I don't like the guy, but ultimately he's a super utility player for $80 million.
I think I heard someone else say that today too.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great utility infielder or utility player.
Yeah.
It's like, but not $80 million.
He's not a star.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money to give to one guy. And let's face it, dude, that mix over in Kansas City where he was playing, that won the World Series last year.
Yeah.
That wasn't all him.
No.
He was surrounded by
not
a
the difference
great
maker.
team, and obviously the Mets are a great team too. But doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to, Ben Zorbst. Is it Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Ben Zorbst right now.
No.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for tuning in, man. We're talking about window
Thank you.
recaps for the last 30 minutes, and you're like the third guy to tune in.
Hasn't stopped us from talking.
But watch the replay if you would, because honestly, we're going to do it again on Friday, another recap. Anybody that is listening or watches the replay, check out Ultimate Pastime in Ontario, California.
Maybe we can do a remote from there
Yeah,
sometime.
can we come and do a remote? We'll do a broadcast from
This
your
is our first episode. We hope to
Yeah.
double our viewership.
by next week.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some news of the Yankees trying to get Starlin Castro from the Cubs, which I'm trying to pull up the depth chart for the Yankees right now.
Oh, I think I heard that as well.
That's pretty interesting because the Cubs do have a lot of young, cheap talent coming up. Castro, obviously,
Mhm.
he caught fire in late summer this
Yep.
year. He kind of showed not only the Cubs but the rest of baseball that he still has something left in him. He's got some
Yep.
value to him, and this might be a great sell high or as high as they can for the Cubs.
Well, But we were just wrapping everything up. We're pretty much done. So if you guys are just joining, please check out the replay when we're finished here, and give us a follow and tune in on Friday. this week, which will
Yeah.
be the 11th of
Yes.
December. Same time, we'll do it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm Joe Moran. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm also the host of A Cup of Joe, which airs every day at 8 a.m. on Periscope. Just a cup of Joe, cup of coffee, whatever you want to call it. We do it together, and that's how I start my day, and that's with you. So
Yeah.
give us a tune in for that. Follow me on Twitter at Joe Moran Comedy.
Yeah.
Scott?
I follow no.
Scott
yeah.
follows me.
Scott Marcus is what people call me. I'm not a comedian. Although I love comedy. I've worked. This is our last show.
Fuck you.
But yeah, you can certainly follow me. I work in the private sector, I guess. I'm a cameraman. I'm behind the scenes usually, except
Yes.
I love baseball a lot.
And he's in pharmaceuticals. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But yeah, Scott is a production guy. He's very, very resourceful and talented in that department.
The lighting wouldn't
Not
lead
today,
me to believe.
but I did the lighting, so that tells you not to let me do it next time. But I think it's the way Periscope adjusts.
Apparently, because when we were setting it up, it was fine.
we had great,
gorgeous.
great lighting.
You could see the tan that I had.
I know we weren't like bright and hot, not like this.
Different hot.
Yeah, we'll bring lighting. Don't worry. We got a whole thing. We'll bring it all up, and we'll put up your banner if you want, like your sign, and we'll do it live from your place, dude.
We should have this episode or this segment sponsored by this thing that you should come here and buy.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fun.
It'll be cool.
I
we'll have a good time.
love sports memorabilia stuff. I'm still, I just hit 35, and I'm still a baseball card collector.
Yeah, same
I love
here.
it.
I got these baseballs that are all signed by all these players and whatnot, and I can get. It's like going to a bookstore and getting lost.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, what do you have here? Like just whatever. I love hanging out at sports memorabilia
Yeah,
shops.
yeah. Okay, so we'll definitely connect.
Definitely. So that's the show, guys. We'll be back next on Friday. This Friday.
There'll be a full recap of the winter meetings, which conclude, I think, Thursday night or maybe Friday morning. So if anything happens at the meetings, we'll be able to comment on all that.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah.
All right, Oakland it
Yeah,
is,
go
baby.
Oakland.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.